Today I'm going to give you more concrete evidence that the hidden Empire of Tartaria existed. If you don't know what the highly advanced Tartarian Empire is, I made a bunch of videos about it, so go check it out and then come back to this video. Now, this empire built insanely high-tech structures and technologies, and you can find evidence for this throughout the world. In Europe, much of Russia, even into the Americas. These buildings were absolutely insane and high-tech, and they had these interesting looking antennas on top. I'm having a hard time believing that primitive horse and buggy people built these grand palaces and other structures. Now, the interesting antennas on top, it wasn't just for decoration, it had a functionality to it. Now, the idea is that this empire was so advanced that when they built their structures, they had these antennas and domes on top. And the functionality is to harness free energy from the ether. Now, harnessing free energy from the ether is not that crazy of an idea. Now, Tesla himself believed in free energy, and he believed that you can harness free energy from the ether. He even tried to develop these Tesla towers, but he never finished. And the idea is that Tesla never invented anything, but he just rediscovered what already existed. So these metallic dome-like structures with antennas and cross-looking things on top had a functionality to them that we're not taught about in school. Now, question is, what happened to this empire? Well, there's some type of evidence that some kind of cataclysm happened in our past and not too distant past, possibly even the 1800s. If you look at a lot of old world structures, you will see windows buried in the ground, and these are not basements. These windows are just ground level.
Историческое здание в городе, в центре Иркутска. 2-3 этажа, да, хлоп видим. Тут хлоп выкопали, да, уровень земли вот. И тут хлоп, так смотрим, дверь.
Now, to translate, that man was basically saying, as they're digging under this old world building, they don't find a foundation, they find more building, more levels, more rooms. And as he's digging below ground level, he finds doorways buried. There's even literature talking about the Empire of Tartaria. This is a poem by Walter Delamere called Tartary. If I were lord of Tartary, myself and me alone, my bed should be of ivory, of beaten gold my throne, and in my court shall peacocks flaunt, and in my forest tigers haunt, and in my pools great fishes slaunt, their fins athwart the sun. Interesting poem. Now, one of the most concrete evidence that this empire existed was shown to me by one of you guys. So one of my followers told me she had this old Webster's dictionary that was from the 1920s. And I'm going to tag her down below. Before I start, I just want to say thank you for this information because this made my day. What's interesting about this old world dictionary is it shows evidence that the Tartarian Empire existed. Here's a definition of a Tartar, a native of Tartary. But today we're told that Tartaria is just a fictional empire. Yet this old dictionary talks about natives of Tartary. Looking through this dictionary shows pictures of inventions. For example, a wireless telephone set and an electric washing machine. I believe a lot of these inventions are a lot older than we think. Here's some extra proof. This is a 17th century table of flags from England, showing a Tartarian Empire flags along with other countries' flags. It's also on old